So, like most people this weekend, I decided to take in a showing of Avengers Age of Ultron. Did I like it? You bet I did. And you know what I like even more? Easter eggs. So join me, won't you, as I go on another Marvel movie Easter egg hunt. Of course, as per usual, spoilers abound, so if you haven't seen the movie or if you're the sort of person who cares about spoilers, now is your chance to back out. You have been warned. Kicking off things right, we have, well, the title of the movie. Avengers Age of Ultron is a reference to a comic story, and a not very good comic story now that I stop and think about it. The comic Age of Ultron was a confusing mess involving time travel, and just stay away from it. It did make a cool subtitle, if nothing else. Next up, we have our villain for the early parts of the movie, Baron Wolfgang von Strucker, just one of many immortal Nazis who have been a thorn in the Marvel superhero side. Actually, come to think of it, he's also one of many barons in the Marvel universe. What's up with that? Eagle-eyed viewers will of course remember Strucker in the stinger to Captain America the Winter Soldier, and mentioned a bunch of times on this season's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. During the big fight with Hydra infantry, Captain America makes use of a magnet in his gauntlet to help recall his shield. Well, wouldn't you know it, this is totally a thing taken from the comics. Next up, we have the twins Pietro and Wanda Maximoff. Now, these two have a long storied history within the Marvel Universe, so I'm not even sure where I should start with them. Well, for one, in the comics, they're actually the children of Magneto, and they're mutants, which, of course, because copyright shenanigans, they can't be in the Marvel movies. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are also important to the Avengers because they were original 1960s founding members. In the movie, much like in the comics, they start out as bad guys, but eventually join the good guys team. I find it interesting, too, that their surrogate father is actually Baron Strucker. Man, it doesn't matter what universe or what studio they're with, these poor two just can't find good role models, am I right? You know what, while we're on the subject of Scarlet Witch, I find it interesting that in the movie she attempts to read Vision's mind, and then later on in the movie is actually rescued by Vision. Why is this interesting? Well, because in the comics, the magical sorceress and the machine man, well, they were lovers. Yeah, comics are weird. Next up on our Easter egg hunt, we have Dr. Helen Cho, mother of Amadeus Cho, one of the greatest minds in the Marvel Universe. Amadeus Cho made a very minor appearance in The Incredible Hulk, although I'm not sure if they're connected. In the party scene, we can clearly see that all of Captain America's friends are old World War II vets, a very cool and very clever idea that was first brought up in the Ultimate Captain America comics, and of course one of his friends just so happens to be Stan Lee. Like most young men in his generation, Stan Lee totally did go off to war. Granted, he was stationed in the Signal Corps where he worked writing manuals and slogans for the military, but hey, it's something. Yep, even way back then, good old Stan was using his writing powers for good. At the very same party, Falcon and Cap make reference to a missing persons case they've been working on, no doubt referencing Bucky Barnes in The Winter Soldier. More stuff from the party. Captain America talks about wanting to move back to Brooklyn, but he's worried about not being able to afford any property there. This is a fun kind of in-joke because in the comics, well, back in the 70s, Captain America did return to live in Brooklyn, where he lived as an artist of all things. Man, I would love to buy one of Captain America's arts. Perhaps my favorite joke in all of Age of Ultron comes when the drunken Avengers attempt to lift Thor's hammer. None of them can do it except for Steve Rogers, who lifts it just a little bit. This is a fun piece for fans because in the comics, Captain America, being so pure of heart, actually has managed to lift the hammer a couple times. Then, of course, we have Ultron himself, the big bad of the movie. Now, in the comics, he was created by Hank Pym Ant-Man, but for the movie, they changed it around to make it so Tony built it. However, in stories like Ultron Initiative, Ultron actually has taken over Tony's suits before. In one instance, taking over a suit while Tony was inside it and turning into a woman. No, seriously, Ultron turned into a woman. He looked like Janet the Wasp, Hank Pym's wife. The nation of Wakanda is also mentioned, and its chief export, vibranium, the very same thing that makes up Captain America's shield. Now, in the comics, the shield was actually a vibranium adamantium alloy, but as Disney Marvel does not actually own the rights to adamantium, yeah. While we're on the subject of Wakanda, the Avengers check out an arms dealer by the name of Ulysses S. Claw. That's Claw with a K, FYI. guy, in case you're wondering, because this is comics. Claw is a Black Panther villain, and it seems that he's already had dealings with Wakanda and perhaps even the Panther himself. Claw also just so happens to lose an arm in the movie. Well, that happened in the comics too, and he replaced it with a sonic device. So, don't be surprised if you see this dude pop up again in the Black Panther movie. Tony's codename for the Hulkbuster armor is the Veronica. That is a comic reference, but not to a Marvel comic. It's actually an Archie Comics reference to Veronica Lodge, the black-haired kind of bitchy rich girl who Archie Andrews was always chasing after. You know what, as I stop and think about it, yeah, Tony Stark would totally be a Veronica type of guy, and you know what, I am too. In the Hulkbuster fight, Tony somehow manages to make the Jolly Green Giant even angrier by mentioning Bruce Banner. This is a callback to the comics where the whole split personality aspect of Banner and the Hulk was played up even more so, to the point where Hulk hated puny Banner. Age of Ultron is kind enough to serve up some very disturbing flashbacks to Natasha Romanoff's time in the Red Room experiments, a very twisted school of espionage where children were forced to fight each other to the death. Now, we've already seen the Red Rooms on Agent Carter of all places, and in the comics, Bucky the Winter Soldier was also involved with the Red Room. As a matter of fact, he was involved with Black Widow too. They had a relationship going, but their minds got wiped, and it's comic books, it's weird. During Captain America's Scarlet Witch-induced hallucination scene, we can see that the band playing in his vision is the Roy Thomas Band, a reference to Ultron's creator, Roy Thomas. Next up, we have a bit of a strange one. Near the tail end of the movie, we have a title card welcoming us to the New Avengers training facility in upstate New York, which is no doubt a reference to the actual team, the New Avengers. Before the credits on the movie cut him off, Captain America is even close to saying his classic line from the comics, "Avengers Assemble!" And last but certainly not least on this Easter egg hunt, we have the final mid-credit scene wherein Thanos the Mad Titan takes up the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, we had glimpsed the Infinity Gauntlet for maybe a second in Odin's treasure room, but this was probably a prop gag. Well, that will just about do it for me and this Easter egg video. In the comments section down below, sound off and tell me, what was your favorite Easter egg? Did I miss any? Until next time, everybody.
So thank you for watching the video, and if you guys like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, check out some of these other great videos we have on the channel. Just click the annotation right there, it'll take you to them. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a good one.